بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مشاهدينا الكرام، أهلا وسهلا بكم. اليوم نحن معكم من جمعية المهندسين العرب في مانيتوبا Chapter Arab Engineers Chapter مانيتوبا. مشاهدينا الكرام، عبر جمعية المهندسين العرب في مانيتوبا سيقوم المهندس نصر السليط، وهو أحد أعضاء الجمعية ويدير شركة NCI، حيث هو مرخص لإعطاء محاضرات في البروجكت مانجمنت، إدارة المشروعات الاحترافية PMP.
Hello everybody, welcome today for our introduction to PMP.
Okay, I just want to say hi to everyone registered and thank you for registering for this course and or this training, and thank you Nasser for providing that to our Arab chapter and for all other chapters at Engineers Geoscientists Manitoba. Thank you very everyone, and Nasser, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So again, welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a brief introduction to PMP certification. In this presentation, at the start, I just want you to be sure that all the information will be mentioned now. If it's conflicted with the one published by bmi.org, because from time to time they are changing, please, if someone joined and didn't make mute, if you please, you can mute, or I can do it from here because there is an echo. Okay, now, so any information I'm going to mention here, please confirm it with the official or the former location for such information in www.bmi.org. There is a changes, especially these days, in the exam system, how to admit, how to apply. So please be updated from the website of BMI. So in this presentation, we are going to talk about what is BMI, Project Management Institution, and who else going to give this certificate, and how to get the membership and the PMP credential. Then we are going to the main book that you are going to use to study and prepare yourself for the exam and get knowledge about management, which is called PMPOC or Project Management POC. And then we'll have some kind of overview about the PM certification, what is the eligibility, what is the exam cost, so how you can apply, and some information about the exam, and then we'll talk about the certification cycle. First, the BMI is a shortcut or acronym for Project Management Institute, and the website is www.bmi.org. It is non-profit organization. It's for project management. Now 51 years old, so it is pretty old organization working in this field. They serve about 2 million to 9 million, and all these numbers for 2018. So this was more than 1 year back. All these numbers is going up now. So it serves more than 2.9 million professionals, including over 500,000 members in around the globe, 208 countries and territories around the world. There is more than 300 chapters. One of them is Manitoba PMI chapter. It's located here, and we have in Ontario and different places. There is 300 plus all over the world, and there is 10,000 volunteers preparing for presentation, helping to do exams, and support new members to get the certification. The PMPOC distributed around more than 6 million copies in different 10 languages. And now, since the start, more than 1 million members get the certificate as PMP. And the services provided by BMI, it is varied between researches or development standard, education, publication, bring some networking opportunities and local chapters, and many other services. The BMI offer not only the PMP, but also there is another credential called Program Management Professional. certified association in project management, and different 8 certification issued by PMI or Project Management Institute. Our concern now, or we are going to focus on the first one and the most popular one, which is PMP. Around the globe, there is another institutions, of course, the most famous, second famous after PMI. We have the Office of Government Commerce in UK, and also the Association of Project Management is another organization in UK, and another organization in Swiss, and all of them non-profit organization, but still, from my point of view, still PMI is most common known organization offer that certification for project management. So PMI membership, anyone can be a member. So you can just go find your username and or by your email and username, you will be a member. You will be called a user member. So you have very limited access to a lot of benefits. But if you become a membership and you pay the annual fee, which is $129 plus $10 at the first time, then you will get the full benefits of membership. Membership, anyone can do a membership without having the certificate as PMP or whatever. Just a user who can log in, log out, or by membership you can download some tools, you can see some documents. It's also give you some discount on the exam fee. It give you the opportunity to access some tables, some tools. You can get the magazine. You can participate in networking events and such things. And it is recommended, but I recommend to have this membership just before going to apply to the exam, so you can get the benefit of the reduced fee for applying the exam. The PMP credential, which is offered by PMI, it is standard for project management professional, and of course, it's offered by PMI. It is there since 1984. It's pretty old, and as we said, around 1 million members now get the PMP since it started. It is give you some kind of certificate that you are certified as a project manager. Sorry. So anyone hold the title PMP after his name, anyone will see his resume or see his name in the business card or whatever, you will recognize that you are aware about what is the standard of project management, and prove that you know what you are doing in management. Also, certified PMPs reporting earning up to 25% more than non-certified. So, as you can see in job advertisement and these things, when he asking for a PMP as a plus, you can negotiate. You can use this as negotiation, because this is what we have from the reporting from the people who get the PMP. They notice that they can upgrade or can negotiate for additional or find a better chance to increase what they get as income. And also in the CIO magazine, it is ranked as ranked the PMP as a top project management certification around the globe. The BIM book, which is issued by PMI, it is a guide to the project management body of knowledge. If you start to study for the exam and taking the course, you need to understand what is there, because the exam based on the 6th edition of BIM book. From 3 to 4 years, the PMI issue a new revision or new edition of BIM book. The current one is 6th edition. So be sure that that is the one you have before going to the exam. It is like a Bible for the PMP exam. It's recognized as well for project management, standard for project management, describe the established norms, methods, process, and practice for project management. So, as I said, it is updated. It's 3-4 years. You will have a new edition. The current one talking about 49 project management process. You know, when you do, for example, schedule, this is a process. When you do a budget, this is a process. When you manage stakeholder requirement, this is a process. So there is around 49 project management processes included in this one. They classified the processes under 5 process being project groups, which is some process during initiating the project, some when planning for the project, monitoring and controlling, executing, and closure. And this usually the 5 phases or 5 uh, the project going through these 5 phases in normal cases. So who can apply for PMP? It is not open for anyone. First, you have to get a 4-year degree, such as bachelor degree or global equivalent, and holding a 3 years minimum experience. Within these 3 years, you worked for 4,500 hours of leading and directing projects. And I will come back to this point. In addition to 35 hours of formal education, which could be provided by a training course, which we already provided some courses before. So if you don't have the 4-year degree, if you secondary degree, high school diploma, or associate degree, for example, then you need a 5 years with 7,500 hours leading and directing projects, in addition to the training course or formal education. So when I say directing projects, they mean that you need to have experience in the 5 groups, as we said in the last slide: initiating projects, planning project, executing project, monitoring and controlling project, and closing. If you see that small diagram or this diagram, you can see here that we can divide the project into 5 stages, 5 groups of process: initiating the project, planning, executing, closure. And there is monitoring and control. You're facing some time during executing, there is delay, so you come back again to planning to change some of your plans or whatever, then apply, you may face a problem again, and so on. You are monitoring and controlling until you close the project. So you have to get some experience in project. It is not condition to have all this experience in one project. For example, you can, for one project, you just worked in initiating the project. Once it started, you move to another one. Or you can just work for some time in planning, sometimes in executing. Or maybe you are lucky, you worked in the same project in initiating, in planning, in executing until you finish your project and you close out. So they're asking 3 years minimum of experience doing some processes or doing some work in a management under the different process groups. It is not a condition to be a project manager in your project. They called you the project manager. That's your title. No, it's not a condition, but you can be a team member. For example, you did the planning for the project. You did the executing. You make the closure. You need something in the project. It's no condition to be called as project manager, but you lead. You need to do that during the work by yourself or leading the team to develop the plan, to do monitoring and controlling and so on. So that's what we say by initiating the project, defining the project scope, and obtaining approval from stakeholders. This including define high level scope, high level of risk, and what is the permits you need, what is the stakeholders going to control your project. This is something you are doing at the beginning of the project, and this called process under initiating the project. And then there is another experience you have to get it in planning the project, and this what we called the work breakdown instruction. When you start doing a project, for example, if you are going to do a building, then you can see, okay, let us plan for the work. We will start with mobilization, getting the design approved. Then we have excavation, foundation work, first floor, second floor, and so on. Then again, you're going to excavation. You can just say excavation, then forming the level, the footing, the piles, and so on. So you are break the work and create what we call work breakdown instructions. This is for planning. Then you can go ahead for whose resources I'm going to hire, what I need, even physical or human resources. What is the quality I'm going to adopt, and how to manage the risk while you are planning to the project. And then executing. You have now initiate, you plan. Now you want to execute the work. You are doing the work already. You have to control your work and during execution by seeing what is the progress of time schedule. We are behind, we are ahead. What we can do to bring the project back if it's going out of the track, if the budget exceeding or less or behind. This work you are doing during control and monitoring the project. And then once everything is closed or finished, you have to close the project properly. If any payment pending, if you transfer the ownership of the deliverables of the project, if there is some permits you have to close, or there is some projects it's closed by moving the project from your to the commissioning team. For example, if you are building a pump station or something, you finish the project, then you hand it over. If that is closing, or you have to maintain this period, whatever. So you have to understand by documenting everything that your project is closed financially, time-wise, permitting, stakeholders, and everything. So this is the 5 areas that you have to gain some experience for 3 years or 5 years based on your qualification or education. So if you can prove that to them during your resume or during the system when you apply, it's a condition to have a minimum hours of doing such works. So if you decide to go for the PMP exam, it costs for non-BMI members, the application fee is 552. And if you, for some reason, you didn't pass from the first or for second or whatever, you need to reapply, then you will pay 375. But if you are a BMI member, then you need to pay only for 05 or $405. And if you repeat the exam, it will be 75. So you can see the difference here, and that the membership will save the money. If you pay, as I think we said, 125, so this will coming back to you when you apply for the exam. So if you find yourself you are eligible, you are going now to apply for the exam, so you go to www.bmi.org and select certification or registration as PMP. Then it will a new application will open for you. This application, since you started now, you have 90 days to complete. If you don't have a time, or you discover that you need more information or more details about your experience, you want to go back, you have 90 days to complete your application. Once you apply or submit your application and complete all the required information, you've got 5 days until you get a feedback from BMI. They may ask you to pay the exam fee and go ahead, or they will take you for an audit. They are doing audits for 10%, almost 10% of the applications. So if you are lucky enough and you are going to do the audits, then you have 90 days to complete it. Once you start the 90 days, they will stop counting the first step here. We have 90 days. This will be out of that time. So you have another 90 days to reply to them, and they need you to send them your certification, your education, or your experience. Even you need to get it approved by your employer. You have to submit your certificate that you get the certified training course. So you have to prove everything in a documented way. Okay, so if you pass, if you send all the documents and it's okay, then you can schedule the exam within 1 year. And you have 3 chances. You have 3 chances to apply for the exam. If you don't pass from the first time, you can do it again within the 3 years and within the 1 year when you get the approval, and you can do it for a third time. Then if you didn't pass the exam, I think you have to go and apply another application or fill another application for another year. If you went to the exam and you finished the online exam, then once you complete the last question and say submit, you will get the results, and If it is okay, that's mean you are certified from that moment. And then they will send you a hard copy of your certificate. So what about the 10%? The lucky people who is going to go through an audit. Okay, there is a BMI, some standards you are going to fill. So they will send you first notification, and then you will find some support materials like ready-made forms that you can fill it, or you can use your own. Then the 1 year application eligibility clock stop when audit begin, and resume when audit completed, must be completed within 90 days. So the audit package, you can find all this in the website, www.bmi. They will send you links for everything. So you have to print your certificates, you have to get your experience verification forms, you have to sign and get some supervisor or reference. They may contact them as well. They will do everything to be sure that everything done properly. Enclosed in an envelope, you will collect everything and send it to the BMI. So this is some of the attachment you are going to send if it's required by them. And if you fail the audit, application fee is refunded again. They will give it to you, but they will deduct $100 because you already spent some time studying your application, and you will get a suspension for 1 year. You cannot apply again for 1 year. And of course, if the audit is okay, you will go ahead and book the exam. Okay, so the exam overview. Actually, we are expecting some changes on the exam, and it's supposed to be last year in December. Then they extend the old exam or the old requirement to June. Then they extended now to up to 31 December. So the information I'm going to mention now, it is valid only up to December 31st, and maybe they will change, or maybe they extend again the current criteria for the exam. So it is a computer-based or paper-based exam. You can ask to do the exam online, or you can go to some centers and use the paper-based. But I think now most of people using the online, because one of the best advantage, you get the results once you finish your exam. It is multi-choice question, and you have 4 answers. Only one is correct. No negative marking. If you do something, you'll not get the mark. That's all. And in total, you have 200 questions. Okay, and only the counting or scored 175. There is 25 pre-test questions. It is not scored, and nobody knows with that question. You may answer something wrong, but it is not scored, or something right or not scored. So there is 25 among the 200, which is not scored. So anyway, go and answer all the 200 questions. The distribution of the question itself, it is focusing by 30% on initiating project, 25% in planning, 31% in executing, monitoring and controlling 25%, and closing 7, which is 100% of questions. So you can now understand there is a 13 questions, a 26 question about planning, and so on. You've got 4 hours duration and no official break. If you ask to go toilet or just go outside, this is counted from the 4 hours. It is based on PMBOK Guide 6. It's the current one now. And test competency and knowledge. It is, it is not difficult. It is not easy. I cannot describe exactly, but for some people, some people can pass this exam with a little efforts if they already applying a proper management. But still, they need you to answer as per the guides they distributed, not as per your practical experience. So it is very important to be ready for the exam. So it is the difficulty is medium to high, and before there was maybe it's still working. There is some situations now regarding COVID-19. It is administrated by Prometric. It is located here in Winnipeg in 200 Midwood Drive. But I think there is some requirement to be sure if you are going to do the exam there in that center, what is the requirement before going. But the good news is that last month, I think they start opening the exam from home. So it's 24/7 now. You can apply for the exam online from the home. So it will be the exact as you are doing in the center, the same quality, the same questions, and there's even a live proctor. Somebody will watch you. The only difference that you can take it in your pajama. That's a big difference. So all you need is a computer with a webcam, reliable internet connections, quiet space for where you can spend a few uninterrupted hours. Uh, it is big advantage to have such facility, and of course this is due to COVID-19. You can during the application you can mention that you need the reader, the online test from your home, and uh, night, day, weekend, whatever, anytime you want to do it, just provide a place, and 4 hours. Be sure that you will have 4 hours of connection uninterrupted to do the exam. The exam also available in many languages. You can ask to do the exam in Arabic and Chinese, French, Spanish. There's many languages. I think there is more. You can check on the online. But I think most of the people select the English because if you study in English, so you prefer to do the English. But it's up to you. It is available. It's an option. You can go ahead for it. Once you finish the exam, you will get the credential for 3 years. It will be valid for 3 years. Start at the day you pass the exam. Then during this years, you need to collect something called BDUs, professional development units, and there is many ways, including webinars. You can from the website itself, BMI website, you can attend a lot of webinars. You can attend some conference, or there is materials box or whatever. So it's easily to collect 60 professional BDUs during the 3 years to maintain the PMP for the next years. So because later on you will have to renew it year by year. Okay, so credentials suspended for 1 year if failed to collect 60 BDUs. Suppose that you pass the 3 years and you didn't collect the required BDUs. In that case, you will be suspended for 1 year. Once you complete, you will commence your membership again, or you will get the BB again designation. And if you keep neglecting to collect the 60 BDUs during the 4th year, that's mean you will lose your PMP credential, and then unfortunately you have to start over everything. We as NCI, we have some collaboration with Arab chapter, and we already organized a successful training courses. The first one was in 2018, and that was the first group. Some of them already get the certificate. They are now PMP members and BMI, and some of them still struggling. So this another recommendation that please, once you finish the course, if you are going to take the course, apply as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will take time. Again, we have a course in 2019 in NCI offices, and this another group. Some of them already passed the exam successfully. With them all luck, and we are looking for the new course in the lucky year 2020. So, if you feel that you are interested to go further in PMP, so we may organize another course online. It will be online, situation now, and of course if something is changed, will change, but it could be online course if you are meet the other eligibility before starting the course, and the only thing is the course, you can go ahead and take it with us or with anyone. We wish you luck anyway, and that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can contact me or Yusuf or Arab chapter. We will be more than happy to answer your questions now or maybe later. And that's all for me now. So I'm going to receive any questions from the audience. If you can send it to YouTube or send it to Zoom directly, I can answer it. Mike, I will now unmute your. Okay.
Okay, now you can hear me.
Yeah.
There are, I guess, 2 or 3 questions came through the presentation. One of them from me, actually, is that the fees in US dollar or in Canadian dollar?
It's USD dollars.
Okay, okay, good. And there is other question asking about that 35 hours, what they are, but I guess you explained them at the end.
Okay. So if anyone need more explanation about the 35 hours, please go ahead and ask. It's in brief, it should be certified. So you have to take it through the an PMI approved training provider, or through a chapter, or maybe your company or employer can organize such training course, and you have to get a certification at the end. In case if they ask during the audit, you can send your certification.
Mr. Nasser, I have a question, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. It was very helpful. The few questions that I have is, so the passing score out of the 200 questions is 175?
No, I think you have to get 60%, right?
60%.
Of the, yeah, 60%, that is the pass mark. And remember, don't focus to answer 175 questions, because, you know, try to target the 200, and you have to train yourself to target the 200.
Yeah, thank you. The second question is, you mentioned the PMP exam is available in different languages. So are the books available in different languages too?
Yeah, the PMP book is available in different languages. All the languages for the exam, it's the box. I think there is 11 or 12 languages for the PMP book.
One last question and then I'm done. If, for example, for a person who does not have a 3-year experience, but he has 2.5, and if he's not audited by PMI, so can he still get the PMP certification?
Look, when you fill your information, it's automatically, if you fill some information that indicates your experience less than required, your application will be rejected directly from the software itself, from the program. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Nasser. This was very helpful.
You're welcome.
Is there any other question for Nasser?
Not from my side.
Sorry, one last thing, Mr. Nasser. Sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry. My questions keep on coming to me.
No, that's okay.
So you, I know you also represent the Arab chapter of Manitoba. Do you have your own organization who helps with the certification, or?
Yeah, my company.
Okay.
Yeah. The certification is coming under my company name, or my business name, which is NCI. It is registered here in Manitoba as a construction company, and also under the name of Arab chapter. So you will get your certificate stamped and signed by both of us, and this is accepted by BMI.
Okay.
And also, I sorry, I forget to introduce myself, because I am a PMP member since 2011 with BMI. So also I'm approved to provide the training.
And your company's charges are the same charges as PMI, or are you a bit cheaper or expensive?
It is something we arrange with with the Arab chapter, but we're trying to give some value. So usually we provide a big discount for the Arab chapter member and the engineering of Manitoba members in general. But it is our first priority to give this as service for the members of Engineering of Manitoba, especially the Arab chapter and the other chapters.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I was asking that is because I just became an EIT in Manitoba in Winnipeg.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I had some experience before, but yeah, this was one of the reasons I'm looking to get the PMP. So even if I'm not, as you mentioned, even if I'm not from Arab chapters, but I have some Arab or Middle Eastern exposure. So, and if I wanted to contact you for this certification, what do you recommend? Go directly to PMI or come at you first?
To get the course, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, you know, there is some, you have many choices. As I told you, be sure that the certificate will be accepted to PMI. So it could be through PMI or through PMI registered education provider.
Okay.
He has a license from them, or through your employer. Your employer can organize something internally in-house, and this is accepted as well. Or a chapter like Arab chapter or Engineering Manitoba or the even BMI Manitoba chapter. Okay. So this is some of the organization who can give you the certificate, which is accepted by BMI.
Okay.
The choice is up to you. Which one the cost is online or in class, whatever, it's up to you.
Okay. And due to this COVID-19 thing, I'm assuming you guys are doing online.
I think most probably next one will be online.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Nasser, I just want to add here. Can you hear me, Nasser, now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add here for the fees for that 35 training hours, as you mentioned, Nasser. You know, usually we focus off the engineers at the association. There is a big discount for Arab engineers for sure, and there is another big discount for all chapters and any engineers registered with Engineers Geoscientists Manitoba. There is a big discount, and that training doesn't have to be only for engineers. If there is other people not engineers, we call them general public, and there is a general price for them, a little higher, but it's still competitive to other providers in the province. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. That was helpful. One question from you, Mike.
Yeah.
So you said very big discount. So if you are you able to talk numbers? Are you able to talk?
You know what? Here online,
okay.
The number's not on my mind. But if you go to Engineer Geoscientists Manitoba website and look at in their advertisement and look at the old or in archive events, and you'll see that event. You'll see this training and you see the numbers. Actually, every year or every time there is a little change in the cost because it depends on other things. So if you look at archive in Engineer Geoscientists Manitoba events, you can see the previous training and you can see the prices or the cost there.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
Well done, Nasser.
Thank you.
I'm trying to reflect the questions and write them on the YouTube for those who will see the YouTube recorded after some time. And I have published the link on the Multaqa Al-Arab if somebody's there who wants to see anything or to follow.
Okay, perfect. So now there's no more questions. I want to wrap up things. And on behalf of Arab Engineers Chapter, and I would like to thank all participants. There's other questions.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, it's a quick question. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you mentioned something about training
Mhm.
Must you do the training before you do the exam?
I'll let Nasser to answer that question. He's the specialist.
Yeah, if I heard, I face some problem to hear you, but if I understand that you're asking about the training, if the training required before the exam, that's right?
Yes.
Yes,
Correct.
yeah, it is one of the eligibility requirements to be eligible for the exam that you gain certificate of formal education in project management and minimum certified hours. So when you apply for the exam, they will ask you a question. Did you have the 35 hours? You can say yes or no. If said yes, and later on you have an audit, they will ask you to send the certification to check if it is done and who gave you the training. So it is one of the requirements to go for the exam.
Okay. For instance, in my own case, I did the training in 2012, but I said 2012. I think it's 2000 and
What was the PMP edition at that time? 4?
I think it's I've forgotten the the book. I forgot that, but I did the training that time, but I didn't do the certification. I've been procrastinating for long, right? As in, so would that still suffice?
We have to check with PMI what is the time allowed to consider that the certification is not expired. Because 8 years now, I think it is long enough to make you forget even the edition of the main book, which main book you used.
But if one, sorry, but if one is still practicing, does that matter?
You have the certificate, you have it still?
No, I don't have the certification. I just did the training and, I never did the certification. But I'm an engineer, right? I've been practicing, So would that still, does it really matter as in for me to do another training?
If the experience you gained is matching the requirements, and if they accept your education, and the education should be, it is one fundamental, it is one important document they needed, the 35 hours. If they accept yours,
Okay.
which is done 8 years back, and I doubt it, I can check on the website what is the eligibility period to consider the education as valid. But I think it's something like 2-3 years, not more than this.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, is there any question to Nasser? Seems to be not. So I would say again, thank you everyone for participating in this presentation, and big thank to Nasser for providing this presentation for our chapters and for all engineers in
Sorry to interrupt,
Manitoba.
Mike. Just a second. I'm still sharing my screen. You have my contact number and the email. Okay. If anytime, not today, tomorrow, anytime, if you need to drop me or send me an email or call me regarding the PMP certification, please do. Don't hesitate to contact me anytime. I'm here to help you.
Thank you so much, Nasser, for those information, and for always you're willing to help the engineers here in Manitoba. And big thank to Samir Hamad, who arranged for the YouTube channel to stream this presentation there. And then not only right now, later still, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel for the Arab Engineers chapter, you can watch that presentation at any time, kind of a refreshment, or if you need to, or if you want to refer it to any other friends, they might be interested, just refer them to that to YouTube channel for Arab Engineers chapter. And also, as Nasser said, his information is there. You can take it and share it with everybody. thank you everybody for that, for the time you spent with us, and I hope everyone stays safe and take care, and I hope everything back to normal, not a new normal, to regular normal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nasser. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for everyone. And that concludes the YouTube one. I will disconnect the YouTube and keep you connected with the Zoom if you want to talk about that. There's something from Ray's home. I don't know what is that. Anyway, I'll go for the YouTube, and I hope to take the logo 1 minute. So
Yeah, Ray said thank you. It's easy to understand. Thank you, Ray, for joining us today. And we always hope to see everybody in person, not virtually, but thank you anyways.
Thank you.